Hey everybody, it's time to do a refresh on Auditioning 101. People who are going to be going in for live auditions as well as shooting your own tape auditions. Let's talk about it. When you go in for an audition, you're either going to be going to a place like Bark, which is a production agency, or you're going to be going to Right Layered Casting, who has been a casting agency for the last 30 years in Kansas City. When you go in for those type of auditions, you want to know how to do your auditions properly. So let's talk about those things. Number one, of course, you want to follow instructions on how to get to that audition. Make sure you got the right location, understand what to do when you get there. But when you do get there, you definitely want to know how to act when you're in the audition room. So one of the things that they're going to ask you to do is they're going to ask you to slate. Slating is how you introduce yourself. And slating can look like this. Hi, my name is Nicholas Segura. I'm with Segura Talent Agency. Now, before you go into the audition room, you should definitely practice that because you don't want to fumble Segura Talent Agency. First of all, you want to also say your name. Hi, my name is Nicholas Segura. I'm with Segura Talent Agency. Say that at least 10 times before you go into the audition room. Hi, I'm Nicholas Segura. I'm with Segura Talent Agency. Keep repeating that, okay? So when you do that, of course, they may be having you read some lines. They may have you do some improvisation. They may have you try out for different roles. You never know. So you definitely want to be flexible when it comes to that. Now, that's all you have to do when it comes to auditioning. They may ask you to add a few bits of information in your audition. For example, hi, my name is Nicholas Segura. I'm with Segura Talent Agency. I'm available for all the shoot dates and I am 5'8". So they might ask you to do that as you audition. So you want to be able to pick that up and add that into your audition. You also want to be, consider that when you do auditions, when you shoot, you also want to be looking into the camera or into the light. And when you're doing your self-tape audition, here are a few tapes for self-tape auditions. Okay, so notice how the camera is set up horizontally. For commercial work, broadcast type work, you're always going to shoot horizontally unless you are told specifically to shoot vertically, and that's usually for UGC. But if you're going to shoot horizontally, that's important. You also want to make sure your settings, you also want to make sure that your settings on your phone are on HD 30, high definition, 30 frames per second. Notice how I've got myself framed up. See how my head is right up there, just a little bit of air above my head on the framing and then on my chest. That's what they want to see when it comes to auditions. Don't shoot way back like this. Don't do that. That's not good enough. They want you to be right here. And if you need to do full body shots, then you want to do something where you set your camera up like this and you're able to walk away from the camera to show full body. Now keep in mind, they don't need you all the way down to your ankles or your feet. They just basically need you down to your knees. That's what they're looking for. So you might necessarily kind of adjust your camera like this and then boom, walk full back. There you go. You might want to do a turn. There you go. Another approach that you can consider when you're doing a self-tape audition is you want to say your name very clearly. Hi, my name is Nicholas Segura, S-E-G-U-R-A. I'm with Segura Talent Agency. They also want you to, sometimes they ask you to smile so they can capture an image of you. Take a moment to smile like that. Then when you do your hands, oftentimes they want to see your hands, leave them long enough in the frame so they can take a photo of it. So you're gonna go 1, 2, 3, show your full hands like this. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Smile, 2, 3. There you go. And that's how they get images of you during your audition video. Finally, when you get done and you're wrapping up your audition, always be sure to smile at the end. Thank you very much. Just smile like that. And then they'll say cut. And that's when you can just go off and critique yourself on your audition. But the thing to keep in mind is that when it comes to auditions, live auditions, as well as self-tape auditions, is that clients are basically looking to see what you look like currently, what your face looks like, what your hair is like, what your energy is like on your video as well. So energy is really critically important, giving clients a lot of energy through the camera. And they're looking for that in the auditions. Don't worry too much about your clothes because casting directors know that when it comes to the clothes, they'll be putting you in the clothes that the client wants you to wear on set. But you want to dress something that's as close to the commercial idea as possible, the character idea. And also be sure to stick with solid colors. If you guys have any questions, be sure to give me a call direct as soon as possible so that I can help you with any questions before you go into an audition, and good luck.